We are the Wormhole Extremists, and this is 1969. My name is David, and I'm with Evie.
Hello.
And Nicole.
Hello.
And Carter is taking her sweet time dialing.
Yes, she is. And apparently, according to the RPG, SG1 were destined for a planet called Amanos, a technically advanced world populated entirely by women. Apparently.
I would have loved to see that.
And all the men had died off after a plague targeting the Y chromosome had killed.
Wow.
Love it. I mean, no.
P2X555 is Amanos.
Amanos.
So how are they reproducing?
I guess they're not.
So they found a way around it.
Okay.
But apparently they're only able to reproduce other women. So,
right.
Yeah,
wow. Okay.
A society full of women. Yeah,
that's
and
an episode
really
I wouldn't have minded watching.
Of
I just want to say, I wouldn't have minded watching an episode of Society full of men having similar, problems and situations. It's just always
either
nice
way,
when that happens.
No,
yeah,
I mean,
either way, I would have
any
liked
way
that.
to tell human stories, absolutely.
Yeah.
So.
That cut on Carter's hand. Are we presuming that happened during One False Step when she tried to retrieve Daniel's knife, or is this an entirely different?
Yeah, I think it's entirely different.
Yeah, because that was on the palm of her hand, and I was just wondering if it was like an inconsistency.
But it would have been really nice if they'd
if it was just
carried it over.
Cut.
Yeah,
that would be cool. That would be cool.
What a missed opportunity.
Oh, that's fine.
Well, they've got to keep the time frames flexible so that you can, Fandemonium can come along and insert novels in between episodes. They'll do that. They'll be like, this novel takes place between this episode and this episode. And that's obviously not the reason why production did it. But the episodes can stay relatively episodic. So, for the most part. And Hammond has that look on his face.
Yeah, he knows. He's like, something's going wrong.
It's got that far off look in his eye. So when they emerge from the Stargate in Cheyenne Mountain in 1969, this is kind of a possible goof, but not really. So if this episode followed the rules of Stargate time travel according to the rest of the series, then that's what I was about to complain from the gate inside the that locked crate inside or the Antarctica gate. Yeah. But I think this was rationalized on Gate World. They said that the time dilation effect of the slingshot around the sun did not take effect until after the wormhole had reconnected to Earth Stargate. So the team occupied by both time periods simultaneously. And I think that Carter actually touches on this herself.
She does, I think so.
25-minute mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, because every other time they go to the Stargate in the time frame of where the Stargate is in that time frame.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
they
like
would have emerged.
Stuff, yeah.
But
and also,
go ahead.
No, you go.
Well, I mean, but it's how this. It's because the episode happens this way that we're able to have this amazing story that we do.
Yeah, well, exactly. So we can't really pull it apart too hard.
I've got a lot of problems with time travel, but for that reason, there's a lot of holes. But yeah.
And also there is no missile or has been no missile training silo under Cheyenne Mountain.
Yeah, it's one of the conceits of the show is that Cheyenne Mountain Complex, there's no missile silo.
No.
It's a series of office buildings underneath a hollowed out mountain.
Exactly.
And I only learned this 4 years ago.
Oh no!
Oh my gosh! There's no
recent.
Nuclear missile silo in Cheyenne Mountain. It's just a conceit of the show. Lockwatcher says that's a great mat, and it is.
I love how calm he was. He just knew exactly what he was going to do, and he literally
did not care.
Hope that it was going to work.
Well, I mean, if it did ignite, they'd never feel it. So.
2 goofs here. So the blue berets that the airmen wear actually didn't become part of the Air Force uniform until 1976.
Whoa!
And the I think they're carrying. I know nothing about weapons, but I read somewhere that they're carrying M16s that are loaded with 30-round magazines. But those weren't around until 1970.
Oh,
in 1969, they would have been 20-round magazines.
Yeah, leave it to the military folks to see that one. So
yes, exactly. I'm like, of course.
Yeah.
We've got quite a few guest appearances in this episode.
Very much so.
Yeah, Alex Zahara returns as Michael. Yeah, and I think this is if I'm not wrong, this is like the only episode he appears in without really heavy makeup.
I was gonna
You
say,
can actually see his proper face.
It's only a wig, right? And the rest of
his
it's
handsome
like
face.
just him.
Yeah. And we've got Aaron Pearl as Lieutenant Hammond.
That's right.
I love
yes.
him. I
He
think
came back
he
as
does an
Kearney
amazing job
in Lockdown.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And of course, Glennis Davis as Catherine.
That's right.
And Pamela Perry as old Catherine.
Goodness. All right.
Evidently,
Eli's mum.
Evidently, Pamela Perry, who plays old Catherine, not old Catherine, sorry, old Cassandra. She actually won a Leo Award this very year for a different performance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you see the guy who struck O'Neill?
What about him?
He played Solon Sencha in Atlantis.
Oh
God.
I didn't see that bit.
Yep.
Yeah. So. You'll also notice here as well that Aaron Pearl has different colored eyes from Hammond.
Hey, we're gonna ignore that.
Brown eyes. Yeah.
I just want to say right now, right? Hammond as a young man was hot.
Agreed.
Help
agreed.
Yeah. And he's got Don's accent pretty good too.
Yeah.
He does an incredible job, I think.
Hog Wild, there's no nuke silo that they admit to under Cheyenne Mountain.
Good point.
Oh, man.
And it's not really a goof, but I think ordinarily they would have separated Carter from the boys.
I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah.
Even Ruskies?
Even Ruskies.
Those Ruskies. We'll put them all in one room together.
Yeah, his little slip up.
Oh, that was so fun.
Oh my god! But you can see like the moment that he recognizes what he's done, and he's just in the background with like his head in his fist, just like, what have I done?
Is Ruskies? Is that Russians?
Ruskies, yeah.
Ruskies. It's an 80s slang.
Yeah.
It may go back further, but it was definitely an 80s slang for Russians. So it's like Krauts.
What's Krauts?
Germans.
Oh, God.
Because they eat sauerkraut.
Oh, I love sauerkraut.
They do.
Jeez.
Totally.
Man, we're going to get flagged. Oh, man.
I was going to say as well, when Carter explains the grandfather paradox, she actually only explains part of the theory. In full, if a man time travels in time to before his father was conceived and murders his grandfather, then he himself would never be born. But because the murderer was never born, then there was no reason for the grandfather to be killed, hence the killer would still be alive. So
Correct.
It's like a bit of a contradiction.
Oh my goodness.
And as a point of interest, there's actually an alternative theory to the grandfather paradox called the many worlds interpretation.
Yep, this is...
And this theory suggests that the act of time travel creates an alternative world.
Yep.
So you wouldn't be going back in time to kill your own grandfather. It would actually just
alternate.
be a version of him from an alternate world.
Yes.
Isn't that what Endgame did to try and do the Avengers kind of fix?
Yep, that's correct.
Yeah. So it would also mean that you couldn't return to the same version of reality that you left. But
That's always
that was
freaked me
really
out.
Interesting. Yeah.
There you go. And I answered him in Russian. Damn it.
Now that
There's Solon Sencha.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love
Are the terms we used
O'Neill's
considered
reaction.
offensive to Germans and Russians?
Look at him in the back.
You'd have to ask them.
Oh, dear.
That's so funny. Look at Daniel. So that's great. But I mean, Stargate goes back and forth on this, whether it's so this one takes the route of Back to the Future, where everything is its own self-contained. Well, no, it doesn't.
Yes,
take the route of
everything's
Back to the
linear.
Future because those changes. Okay, so I'm wrong.
Everything
is in one timeline, like Back to the Future.
Yeah.
But in this case, those changes they aren't changes because they had always taken place. I.e., Hammond knows. So,
Yes.
But Stargate is always going back and
that.
forth on the multiverse time travel aspect or
Mm-hmm.
the single universe time travel aspect. It's just the story hangs on which one they're going to use to facilitate it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think we just missed the Star Trek and Star Wars
Yep.
reference.
Sorry, guys.
So
No, you said the Star Trek one
it's
first. He hasn't said the Star Wars one yet.
Oh, okay. So Star Trek first aired 3 years prior to this in 1966.
Yep.
But it did have sort of a little bit of a cult following, I guess. But it is kind of an obscure reference.
Yeah, he
and
wouldn't
Star
know, would
Wars,
he?
obviously, wasn't released until 1977, so that reference definitely tracks.
Yeah.
Just difficult. To
And I mean,
pronounce.
at this point, like O'Neill has no idea what year it is anyway. So
Right.
This is the way of
just-
trying to gauge it. He's trying to see what year
Yeah,
is it.
it's
Like
just
to start
grasping at
saying
straws.
things.
Yeah, it's not exactly something that you normally ask someone.
No.
no.
So.
And watch out for like a series of very subtle goofs when they're in the back of the blue van.
Okay.
Oh
Which
no.
is coming up. So the road goes from being dry to wet and then dry again in between.
Oh,
in between
Canada.
shots.
That's Vancouver for you.
Yeah. I think they probably just reshot certain parts.
Well, I mean, as they're
But,
driving, you know, that's
They
probably
did a whole
typical to
sequence
Canada.
that was dry.
it starts out as being dry and then goes to wet and then goes to dry again.
Oh,
So
well,
it
it's a
goes
very
backwards.
long road. There were a lot of clouds.
It is.
What if they did the whole drive while it was dry and then did the drive again to reshoot the scene and then it was wet? Like, how inconvenient is
Yeah,
that for Canada to
It
be so
is.
rude?
And like you'd have a schedule that you have to abide by, so you just have to do it and just hope that no
I
one
don't
cares or
remember this.
notices.
I don't remember this scene in the present.
Really?
I don't.
Yeah, he's like they'll find their own way back.
They barely go back to
Oh. So it
present
wasn't
day with
really
this.
immediate. They were gone for a little bit.
Yeah,
But
I
our
love
friend
this.
there,
Wow.
was it Dan Bacon? Is his name?
Yes,
Yeah.
Daniel Bacon.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jeff's friend.
Jeff's
Yes.
instructor, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yes. This is
Albuquerque.
his 3rd of 9 SG1 appearances.
Okay.
Actually, quite
Yeah,
a
he's in
bit.
a lot.
Lockwatcher just said
Yeah.
that.
Isn't he the one who's doing the gate in Wind of Opportunity?
Yes, I think
yes,
so.
that's correct.
Because it's not
yes.
Walter and it's the best episodes. It's very upsetting. But he's great and I like him anyway.
Where there's a will, there's an or. I love.
Yes, I love
I
that.
think of that all the time.
Same. Somebody will say that to me and I'll go, you mean or? And they'll go, what? And I'll go, no, mind.
No, never mind. Where there's a
Just
will,
like-
there's an
Just
or.
lost on you.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Wet.
I think here it's wet, but just
Fog.
before it was dry.
Well, maybe they've been driving for a while. So
Yeah, long enough for it to change. What's a bit wet? What's wet? This would have gotten him into so much trouble. This is like a real big move. The only thing that bothered me about this is the fact that he was really difficult. Oh, it's dry. He was really difficult about Tilk initially joining SG1. But do you not
Yes.
remember him in 1969, bruh? Do you want to chill out?
Yeah,
accept
well,
him?
just have to try and assume that he just put that to one side.
Yeah.
We also missed the comment about Tilk mentioning that his lava Goa'ulds will mature within a few
yeah.
years.
They got
That's
to go.
the first we've found out that a Goa'uld lava can overtake the Jafar.
yeah, and become its host
Yeah.
or become its true master. The
True
Jaffa
master,
can come a
yeah.
host.
This is lovely. I love this conversation. It's great.
Yeah, he's great. I wish he was in this full episode.
Mm-hmm.
He's got him nailed.
He really does. So for good reason, this episode was voted number 4 in Sky's top 10 Stargate episodes.
Sky One,
It just said Sky when I researched it.
probably.
We got so many channels. It's all the same.
But it's the network. Yeah.
Yeah. Best year.
I love how he had to look
Also,
at Daniel. Daniel was 4.
Also the year that Daniel teaches Tilk how to drive.
That's right,
Yeah.
1969.
Which is super
that's right.
cute. Which he mentions in season 6 when he's talking to Jonas, right?
Yep.
He does, yeah.
So
Smoke and
cute.
Mirrors, he mentions it.
dude, get it figured out. You got a letter in your pocket with your handwriting on it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to get the best job in the future, Hammond. Don't you worry. This is great. This is so cool because, like, you never really see Hammond getting his, like, you know, like, hands dirty. Like, he's getting into the crap with SG1. It's really nice to see him putting his career on the line to help save them.
Yeah.
You know?
I just like seeing a little bit of his almost like seeing a little bit of his backstory.
Yeah, we didn't get to see a lot of Hammond, and every time we get to see more, it's very exciting.
That just looks so painful. That was a good job on the makeup.
Absolutely.
Sorry, missed it. I hurt you. It's weird.
I love her smug look. She's just like, yeah, I'm higher ranked than you.
So good. Hammond is a babe.
Here's a weapon I've prepared earlier.
Yeah, look what I provided. The way he picks it up, like, almost perfectly, and he goes, "Oh, yes. I don't actually know how to carry it."
He didn't pick it up like awkwardly with his thumb and forefinger.
Yeah. I wish he did that. That'd been really funny.
The dangerous foreign agents have inexplicably freed themselves.
I love that line. Yes, it's sunny again and dry.
Hey guys.
That is a cool effect.
It can be.
Oh, by the way, that's awfully convenient. 5 minutes later, okay, here it comes.
Apparently the Woodland cameo on this on the military truck wasn't used until 1975.
Wow.
In 1969 it would have been painted a flat olive drab green.
Well, there you go. It's those details like the arch later on where it's like, all right, you know, are we going to go ahead and remove this because it's inaccurate based on the time? I love how the Zat also conveniently breaks the
unlocks. Lock. It does. It does. It's multi-purpose, guys.
Yeah.
See, if you ever like lock yourself out of home or whatever, you don't need a locksmith.
You need a Zat gun.
A Zat. You can hide that under a rock in your front yard.
Yeah.
Instead of the spare key.
I like the disappearing third shot element. I know that they
I don't hate it. I don't hate it actually. Yeah. I don't hate it. I mean, it's a bit. I guess it's a bit cheap, but yeah, I don't dislike it. It works in this scenario.
Yep. Oh, the cash. That's right.
Yes.
I hate this trivia question. I hate it.
He doesn't disclose how much he gives him in the start.
No, just the end. And I've been asking. I should ask ChatGPT how much that would have cost.
I have that. Should I wait till later? I have how much it was.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
How much he actually gave him?
Yes.
Wow.
Did you want to know now, or should I wait till later?
Yeah. How much did he give him?
Okay, so I did
never
the conversion, and it's $161.29. So
wasn't this a trivia question, David?
He learned,
like most
not the original, but how much he owed him.
So Jack owed the general $539.50. So the original loan would have been about $161.29 if you account for the simple interest at the prime rate of 8% in August of 1969.
I have been wanting to know that answer for years. So one more time, how much was it?
$161.29.
$161.29. Well, I don't think he gave him change. So yeah, about $161. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Who carries, even in 1969,
Literally,
$160 in their pocket?
I know.
Carry a 20.
Especially in like his.
I worry about getting mugged.
Yeah.
Big
yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, he'd be the one doing the mugging. He's
maybe he was out to pay something.
Maybe. Yeah, it could have been. Yeah.
Yeah.
That works. But they'd be able to get around with that for a little while. I mean, they'd be okay for a few days. Starting to figure it out. Such a good episode.
It's a really
it
fun
really
one.
is. It really
It's not my
is.
favorite time travel episode, but I really do love it.
What's your favorite time travel episode?
Mobius.
Ah, okay.
I was going to say I enjoy Mobius too, but this is a good one early on. Oh, look at beautiful Canada.
It is good. It is good. It's not as good.
That was a
in my opinion.
vet. I don't know what year it was, but my dad owned a 1970 Stingray, the same color, with hard top roof, and it still sits in our garage. And I'm
He says,
looking forward to
"Carter,
inheriting
stick
it."
your thumb out."
Yep,
Is it because she's a woman and she's more likely to get a car?
correct.
Yeah, but she's not very she's not really dressed seductively or
I'm
anything.
honestly surprised
she's
that
wearing
he
the same
didn't
clothes as
say,
them. So
Take the jumper off and try and get some groove going. I would take
interesting.
the tank top and put a hole in it.
Yeah, exactly. Interesting fact, Daniel said that he was born in 1965, so he said he's 6 years older. So
He's
let me
4.
start again.
Yeah.
Is it
So
4 years?
if Daniel Jackson was born in 1965, he's actually he was 6 years older than Michael Shanks.
Yeah.
And for the record, Shanks is also 10 years younger. 10 years. Oh my God. James Spader is 10 years older than Shanks.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
yeah.
This method appears to
Oh, Teal'c.
This is
No,
a
this
great
is not what you
Teal'c
do.
show.
This is great. He's got some good moments.
We would have stopped, man.
I remember when I watched Threshold before I ever saw 1969, and I remember seeing in the flashbacks of him remembering I saw this shot and him with the hair, and I was like, "What is that?" Because I didn't even know it was an episode. That was a fantastic.
Did they do you know if they found this bus already painted or did they paint it?
I think that they painted it.
It's really cool.
Yep,
It is.
absolutely. I'd love
is
to
so
have the two of
cute.
them on Dial the Gate. I obviously I had Alex, but I've been trying to get the actress who plays Jenny.
Yes, that would be awesome.
This is God, Teal.
I love how Michael just leans into it. He's just like, okay, cool, all right.
The way that these guys are like so totally stoned.
Oh,
and,
absolutely
like,
they are.
Just vibing that they just don't even care what's going on.
Yeah.
Great.
So what'd you do?
Nothing.
I love her shawl.
Yeah.
The shawl is beautiful.
Yeah. Establish. I so relate.
Technically, that whole sew thing is not really done until like the 90s.
What?
Like when people say I was so into that,
That's
more
true.
of
That's
a
a so
90s
yeah,
thing.
90s,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
Interesting.
Learning. I feel like a baby.
You are a baby.
I am.
I love his perm.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
So I know he's going to say it. I
Right
said laughing
on.
preemptively.
Right on.
Feel. God. You're already in Canada, my dude.
Shh.
I love this line. This is so funny.
The war with Canada.
Jeez. Look at Michael. Oh, that's funny.
You know, I really love Captain Holt from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and I'm realizing, I think it's because I love Teal'c so much, and Captain Holt is essentially like just
the same
a
sort of
human
humor.
Teal'c.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. I love Teal'c so much. He's so like funny without even trying, you know?
I love this montage.
It's great.
It's a
It feels
great
very Indiana
montage.
Jones.
I was going to say that the map route is shown is Interstate 40. Well, we also see obviously that Route 66 sign. In the 60s, Route 66 was being upgraded and rebuilt as Interstate 40. So during the rebuild, some of the sections would have either been Route 66 or 140. Just an interesting fact.
You know, I have been under the assumption that the Gateway Arch wasn't completed until later. It was finished October 28th, 1965. Oh,
wow. Also, that's the Willis Tower, which wasn't built until
That's what it is.
1970.
It's the Sears Tower wasn't built until 1970. That's
correct.
It. The Arch was built before the Sears Tower. Now the Willis Tower was not.
The Willis Tower, yeah.
They also don't call it the Willis Tower. They still call it the Sears Tower.
Of course they do.
The people do. All the signs are, but yeah, the people.
Guys, the cars going with the bus are all like older vintage vehicles. The ones coming in the opposite direction were modern cars.
What are you saying? They managed to get a bunch of people to drive older cars around
I think they must have, yeah.
But then they couldn't control the oncoming traffic.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
Also, we see Jack here do that thing where he fishes out a foreign object from his coffee cup.
He loves doing
which
that.
is a long-running gag in the show. Is this the first time he does it?
Probably.
Yeah, he does it he does it a lot in the future. I don't think he's done it before.
Is that an IDA
all the time.
Yes. Definitely.
Yes,
Yeah,
Joseph
I love
Malazzi said
it.
that was like his thing. That's what he would do.
I love it.
Corin
I think it's
comes
so
in
funny.
with a coffee cup in like season 6, and Rick said, "No, you got to get another thing. That's my thing." So because he's standing in the gate room with a coffee mug.
I was going to say, doesn't he use a thermos for like the rest of the show?
Exactly.
He's always using a thermos.
Yes.
Like a little nerd.
It's all
Fun
over.
science.
General Hammond.
Yeah.
Could really use one of those Shen solar flare predicting devices.
That'd be handy right now. But is sterility worth it?
No. Ooh,
Yeah.
nah.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I always found this part a bit like cringy. I get like secondhand embarrassment watching this scene.
Yeah. I think you've mentioned secondhand embarrassment like the last couple of episodes.
Yeah, season. I think that's why season 2 is so it's a struggle for me.
Was that a boat?
Oh, Canada.
I love the accent so much.
Blame Canada.
William's joined the chat, guys. Hi, William.
Hey!
Hey, buddy.
How's it going, brah?
It's the way that RDA tries to sound a bit more like alien, like less normal, in order to try and be like, we are foreigners.
Yes.
We are foreign to this planet.
Jeez.
Oh, Daniel.
A place
I
called
can't.
New York.
I can't. Season 2 is a hard time for me, guys. Season 2 is really difficult.
It's pretty funny.
So is this almost looks like a threat here, you know? Oh, I don't know, man. Well, then let me show you how we can blow up a fire. So
yeah, I thought it was weird.
It is
It's like,
bit.
let me show you our alien magic, but also it's a bit threatening, you know?
So take us.
Oh, Teal'c.
Does the stock collapse sound on the Zats? Do you guys hear that when he collapses it? When he collapses it here?
Oh, wait. Yep.
Yes.
Oh, you do hear it. Okay. There's a couple of times when it collapses in the show.
Oh, yeah.
So you don't hear it.
It's annoying.
so-
I'm always frustrated.
What was the date?
So the
August
camera,
10th.
it's August 10th.
Yeah.
So one of the headlines was Sharon Tate, 4 others murdered, which refers to the infamous Charles Manson murders
That's
that occurred
right.
the day
Oh,
before.
God.
And as a point of interest, Woodstock obviously took place between August 15th and August 19th.
That's right. And
this observatory, the observatory, the
Yep.
Gordon Macmillan Southam Observatory.
We stood on the right there and did a video.
We did, is in Vancouver, obviously, and it wasn't built until 1979. And also we visited there, which was really cool.
That's it, exactly. We were there. So in 1975, when Lucas was writing Star Wars, he had Starkiller was the name of the
Adventures
characters.
of Luke
Starkiller
exactly
was the original title of Star Wars.
That's correct.
Near the second to last draft, I believe it was, someone said to him, "So does this have something to do with the Manson murders?" Starkiller.
Oh my God.
Starkiller. So he then, because of the Manson murders, changed it to Skywalker.
That's upsetting.
I didn't know that bit,
Yeah.
but I knew the name was what he originally wanted to go with.
Because he didn't want that to be associated with that. Obviously.
All this Star Wars
Fair
talk
enough.
while I'm away from my Xbox is very upsetting.
You know, yeah.
hear that Xbox
the sacrifices
calling you.
that you make, Nicole, are greatly appreciated. Right.
Yes.
There's Statue
like
of
you
Liberty.
get up
I
at
don't know if
3
it
a.m.
was. I don't know if the French had given us the Statue of Liberty yet, folks. I think that may be an error.
What? It's been there for yonks.
I was like,
Is that a
what?
joke?
I was like,
that's
literally, I've been watching The Gilded Age, and they have like a portion of the Statue of Liberty, and that was set in like.
I was going to say, I was playing
1880
Assassin's Creed Unity the other day, and I was climbing it. So
That's funny. I've been
So
inside
interesting fact. Interesting fact. In the German version of this episode, Daniel uses a French accent instead of a German accent.
that's hilarious.
Hi, Glennis.
He's a good old Glennis. She was great to have on.
Yes, I rewatched her interview with you yesterday.
My favorite performance of hers will always be as Eli's mother. She
Yes.
absolutely shines in that role.
Yes. Oh, guys, I'm like mostly through season 1
Yay!
of Universe, and I have to say it's like my third time watching it, and I think I'm liking it more this time.
Yes!
It's
Yeah.
growing on me.
Yes. Good.
She doesn't want this to be overheard. She's concerned.
No.
So,
Yes.
Let's be quiet about the doorway to heaven.
Yep.
I love the Williams in here being like, Eli's mom, yeah.
Right, exactly.
Universe, woo-woo.
William says, to be fair, he's barely using a German accent here.
Yeah, it's not great, and I think some of the words that he uses are not correct either. Like they're not correctly used. They are German words, but they're not in the right context.
Can I just say, this is the exact same tea set as the tea set that she has in Torment of Tantalus.
Is it?
And I absolutely love that. Yeah.
It really is.
Really
I
cool that
recognize
they
the
carried
blue
it on.
cups. Yeah.
That's
beautiful.
perfect.
I don't know why, but that shot of her putting the sugar cubes into the cups in Torment of Tantalus have always kind of like stuck in my head. So whenever I see it in 1969, I always smile a little bit.
She is the 5th actress, believe it or not, to have played Catherine Langford. So
many.
Wow. Legacy character.
And then we have a 6th one. We have
yes,
the girl from
number
Origins.
6. Yes, from Stargate Origins. Stargate Origins. That's right.
Is it pointless though, darling?
Okay,
Yeah, but
like,
we don't
really-
need them to do that. We just need to know
we just need to break
break
which
in.
armory.
Tell us
that's
where. I would love this tea set. I want it so much. I wonder where it went. Probably in the bin.
I have something. I don't have that exact tea set, but I do have something that has a very similar pattern.
That's really cool that you noticed that, Nicole.
Thank you.
That is
I
very
really love
awesome.
Torment of
Cool.
Tantalus, so I can really identify
Yeah. Well, it makes a lot of sense. That's production people paying attention.
it. Exactly.
Yes.
That's why I've
Yes.
always
That's what that
appreciated it. I love it so much. I also love the fact that Sam left Jack and Teal'c to once again manage looking at the thing in space, like in Singularity, because
Yes.
Jack loves to look at through telescopes.
Yeah, he knows
at
what
his
he's
neighbors.
doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
At his neighbors.
I just love that this is the this is the pair that go and look through the telescopes.
And there's the Vancouver skyline in the background there.
Yes.
It's a shame. It's a beautiful skyline. Yeah. But if you use it, it's like, oh, that's
Canada.
exactly
It's
where
like
we are.
iconic.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love that bus.
It is a very cool bus. I wonder what happened to it.
Yeah, that'd be a great story to learn.
Shame no one like, held on to these stories, or at least we don't know anybody who can tell us. This part really breaks my heart. Like Michael not wanting to, because he got drafted.
Yep.
Yes. It's just one last jaunt before.
What was happening
blast.
in 69 for him to get drafted?
Vietnam.
Is that what was happening?
You're kidding, right?
I don't know any of the recent wars. In England, we didn't really learn much about that stuff, to be honest.
That's what the whole episode... Yeah, he's talking about the war with Canada. That's the war with Vietnam.
Yeah, so I never knew specifically which war it was.
Yeah. Well, the war with the Viet Cong, specifically. The war in Vietnam. So, my dad was over there. He was in
Was England involved in that?
I know Australia was.
I feel like we didn't have much involvement. It's just, there's a lot of parts of like American history that just isn't really part of English history, and we learn more about like Europe as a whole. Well, and we kind of tend to forget about America.
British troops fought in
America
Vietnam.
came in. Yeah, America came a little bit later.
Yep. However, they only had a small number of soldiers participating due to the government's decision that committing too many resources would be ill-advised. Well, we had a treaty with their government, and then the United States did, and then their government fell. So the treaty was the reason that we went in originally. There's a whole story. Go check out the Ken Burns documentary on the Vietnam. It is amazing. My dad and I watched it together. It was brilliant. So, but that's I love O'Neill's response here, and it's like, everyone has a different thought on what he was about to say.
Yes.
Coming from a military family, I have my own opinions as well, but it's a great scene.
Yeah.
And Michael, Alex Zahara was the one who added, "I don't want to kill anybody."
And originally
it was,
it's a beautiful line. It's
war.
really scary.
And they shot them both, and they accepted it. So.
Yeah, no, this one cuts a lot deeper.
Yep.
Yeah, that really bummed me out.
This is the Seaforth Armory. And you can actually see the crest in the background, which is the Seaforth Highlanders of Canada crest, which kind of gives away the location a little bit. Also, like, they're storing the Stargate upright, which
yes,
I mean,
it's
like, it's a bit of a
think?
space saver, but it's very convenient.
Yeah.
I love that no matter where you go, like whenever the gate's getting like taken somewhere, everyone's like, okay, giant box just about this size. Yeah, that's got to be the gate.
Exactly
like nothing else in the world is going to be
that same size.
Like that.
Open up both sides so that it appears to us the first time very cinematically. So anyone who's potentially watching will get a really, really cool view.
Exactly. Those two sides
so
just like peel away like
really
exactly
awesome.
the same time. And it's kind of interesting that Daniel was quite willing to climb that 2-story high crate, because in Thor's Chariot, he claimed that he had a problem with heights.
Well, I feel like when, not returning to your time is at risk.
Yes, hanging in the balance. Yeah.
Yep.
Tilk's confusion there looks very Christopher Judge. It looked like Christopher Judge was a bit confused.
Look
at the concern on his face. Yeah, look, he looks so concerned. I think I'm just not used to seeing Tilk look that panicked.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Stargate Origins specifically
I was literally
used
about to
this
say
as a callback to 1969.
Yeah.
Yes, I was literally just about to say that.
Didn't they only use one car?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it was only one car.
I'm not gonna lie, I really enjoyed Origins, and I kind of want to watch it in our rewatch, because I think that
it'll be the very last thing we do. But
yeah, I just think it'll be a really nice, like, interesting way to kind of circle back to the beginning.
Yep.
I didn't finish it. I think
I watched
the
movie
most
great.
of it. I watched most of it.
I
don't think it was a movie at that stage. It was just the episodes.
Okay.
I was trying to watch it before WonderCon in 2019. I didn't quite finish it on the plane.
I watched
I know
it
what
as a
happens.
celebration before when I got the announcement that I was going to be a super fan and going to WonderCon. I watched it because I was like, I should finally get around to that. So
yeah. So you notice as well, when the gate was activated, there was no seismic occurrences, despite the gate having no dampeners.
Evie,
I mean, there could have been. They just didn't articulate them on camera.
Yeah. It's not important.
It would have been hard to articulate on camera, but it would have been really cool if they shaped a few boxes. I think those guys are
shoot
bad
like
at shooting.
stormtroopers.
Okay, I've got a problem with the self-fulfilling was it promise
Prophecy
thing?
yeah
Prophecy thing? Yeah,
I have comments about that.
I can't be dealing with
Obviously
it,
we've got
so.
a Wizard of Oz reference coming
Of
up.
course. And a futuristic
TM.
SGC.
Yeah, and a futuristic SUC. This is where Hathor got her idea from.
Yes.
I'm joking, obviously. I don't like this ending. This upsets me. I'll explain why. Carry on, Evie.
I was going to say, so someone estimated that this would be around 2050 to 2060 based on Cassandra's appearance and estimated age.
Yep. And I love all the devices they're covering up.
Yes.
Suggesting that
I recognize you with hair. God, who?
The work is The work of the Stargate Command is continuing.
I love he says I highly recognize you with hair, but is it Teal'c or is it Daniel who's missing hair?
Yeah, I know. I kind of
and I think it's Daniel.
Maybe it's Daniel.
Yeah.
Which I love. But, obviously Michael Shanks still has his hair.
So I don't like this because it implies that the Stargate program shut down at some point in the not so distant future.
Why?
They act like it's, because I don't like the idea of it ending. It upsets me. Like, why can't it be like...
Why is it shut down?
Well, because look at it.
No, they're covering everything up because they anticipated them being there. So they covered everything up. So they wouldn't influence the past.
But then why is no one there?
Because they don't want anyone influencing the past. Or influencing the future. So that when they go back into the past, they won't influence the future. That's why everything is covered up.
They want to keep everything,
limited.
Yeah.
Is that actually canon, or have you decided that's what it is?
No, that's what it is. That's what they were writing into it.
I'm no longer angry at this episode. No. Okay, right.
Yeah, because they know that Sam would have told Cassie, don't let us see anything from the future that may affect the future other than the device to get us back.
The other angry thing, which is, what the hell is this self-fulfilling promise stuff?
What about it?
I can't deal with it. I don't know why I can't wrap my head around
I know that this particular scene introduces another time travel paradox, which is the ontological paradox. So if Cassandra's knowledge of the future came from Carter, who only knew to pass it on because Cassandra told her to, then the knowledge has no origin independent of the time loop, which is kind of similar to the letter that Hammond writes.
Yeah, it's the same thing with the cut on the hand.
It falls into the same category.
Yeah.
So as does Carter's research into the solar flares.
Yeah, it's all
Daniel
fixed inside of the
Hammond
loop.
asked her to research
Correct.
it so that she could help him determine the dates and times of the 1969 solar flare.
I have a lot of problems with time travel, which is these little paradoxical
it's very complicated.
It's the definition of a paradox. So,
also, they used that line. Do you remember in our Superfan Winners compilation video in 2019?
We're home.
They used line that we're home.
Yeah, I remember that.
So William said, my take on the not shaking in the military bunker from the vibration was due to their SGC computer messing with all the gate signals. That's why it happened at the SGC. It was dumb dialing, but really they don't want to deal with the shake anymore. So. But then again, the gate in Antarctica shook in solitude. So,
Indiana says if Cassie doesn't remember Daniel with hair, does that mean the long hair or he loses it after? I'm assuming he went bald, and that's the joke.
Yeah, I mean, in the next episode, he has short hair, which is the first time we see him with short hair. But I'll mention that again later. I
assumed she was talking about Teal'c. She looked back at Teal'c and then said that.
Well, Teal'c and Daniel give each other a funny look, like who's she talking to here? So I was assuming it was Daniel. Because Teal'c gets hair eventually. So
50 cents. Good show.
We did a lot of talking on that one. There's a lot of discussion.
I had 10 pages of notes.
Wow.
Oh my god.
I mean, it's in a very big font, but still, 10 pages of notes.
Big and
That's how you make a CV look
notes.
good. That's how you apply to a job. You fill the thing with lots of large font. So
yes, with big gaps.
Yeah.
Agreed.
This is a good episode. This is honestly, I'm looking forward to discussing it in a moment.
Yep.
It's
I definitely have to put it up there on my favorite top 10
shirt.
maybe.
You can run and do it now, David, although you have to switch the stream back. So
I have to switch the stream back. So
damn.
Talk. All right, let's go ahead and wrap this one up. Well done, everyone. Thanks for joining us for 1969.
Good time.
Indeed.
Decent episode.
All right, come on
Very
back,
good
guys.
episode.